I talk about the Ark of the Covenant. That's all I can talk about. Most Trojan ones, we have already seated ourselves at the table, whether we are completely cognizant of it or not. We're now considered actual true X-Men, real mutants. We don't have the mark of the beast popping. And no shame on those who unconsciously have the mark of the beast and operating through it. I don't think you have a choice. I don't think, until you know, what can you do about it? Let me turn on this music. But this intergalactic, interdimensional round table, the new matrix of the reality that we're in. So now we got Dante's Inferno and we got the kingdom of heaven on earth. We have to have both, y'all. You got to. For all my high priests and high priestesses, you understand what I'm talking about. As you seat in your throne, your sovereignty, and you have the two Atlantean towers at your sides, the B and the J, mortality and immortality. And you sit there cool as a fan, gat in hand, right? Because it's a spiritual war. You got the gat in hand because, you know, it's hell on earth. But heaven on earth, you truly understand that you never have to lick off a shot. You're a boss. I have the blueprints of the Ark of the Covenant here, right on time with that siren in the background. This is just part one. An artifact that was created centuries ago in the Americas. How did they know what they were crafting, or did they know? That they would provide a blueprint of the Matrix, remixed post 2012. Because before 2012, Earth was vibrating as a 22-4 planetary structure, plane, planet, whatever you want to call it, construct I'm hearing on the other side. Now that we're in the 5 energy, Zabalbabe, the void, the Hierophant versus the heir apparent, level 5 of the major arcana. Now that we are in this energy, this age of Aquarius - Capricorn, as this Sumerian tablet depicts. I'm bringing both the Sumerian tablet that depicts this new age and the actual blueprint of the Ark of the Covenant. Let me pull it up to the camera. This is an introduction, y'all. Now I have it this way. Let's turn it this way. Very important. Don't worry about if my nails are done and polished and shit. We're in a war. And some of us can go ahead and polish the nails. We can go ahead and make a meal and take care of our families. Go to the beach and relax. You can. You must balance. Okay? The key to balancing is understanding what's really happening, though. Nobody's going to want to hear me talk about this. Not the people in power that are watching their power erode. They're not going to want me to talk about these two portions at the 12 o'clock and at the 6 o'clock. And this is just the alpha mode of the Ark of the Covenant. The omega mode is a war system in full. Here is just all the different departments, the 4 different sectors that surround the inner sector, inner core. When you look at the Ark of the Covenant, the conventional one, you always have the seat of glory at the top, and it's usually rectangular. It's a different time, a different world, if you even want to call it time. This right here is the CPU. This right here is the short RAM. Overlay the map of Jerusalem. You can really understand it when you overlay the map of Jerusalem. Gate of Zion, gate of Herod or hell. The new Ark of the Covenant controls both. Quiet as it's kept, like a thief in the night, it showed up. The 4 quadrants, the 4 sectors, the 4 apocalyptic horsemen and women. You might be like, okay, so speculation, that sounds creative, cool, that's what's up. You're going to have to give us more than that. Yeah, because I can't talk about CPUs and short RAMs, right? I can't do that without really, truly dissecting, and we'll have a better image of this map, more closer images, especially when it comes to the gate of hell, the gate of Herod. Because within here, I will pull up for you what is in the brain and why those portions of the brain is depicted here at the gate of hell, where the moon and the sun face off in a war at the 6 o'clock position, 618, 666, and why that apparatus of the brain is so key. What makes the Ark so dangerous, as an Ark of the Covenant normally would be. This is a different one now. This is not the one that Moses and his mans and them was carrying around, and that one could take out military within what, seconds? They had to wear smock to carry it because of the radiation or whatever the fuck was coming out of it. So as we go forward, we're going to break down the sectors, the fact that this is an actual compass, so all these bands move as you move in any direction, especially the 20 days. This band right here, these are the 20 days, but important because these 4 directions, if you move the compass, if the compass shifts in its energy, those 20 days create number sequences to let you know if the Ark is in peace mode, rest in bitch face mode, or if it's taking motherfuckers out. And firstborn is definitely always on the agenda when the wrath of God touches down on this planet. Always. And it's only to complement or balance out the scales, because coming for the birthrights of Trojan ones is the biggest mistake ever. In order to keep power, you have to not trip over one of us. Wake us up out of cryostasis with your torturous rituals, sexual or not. Torturous rituals, whipping our ass, thinking that we just one of them okie doke type time motherfuckers that you could just tap in and steal our blessings, swap destinies, and destroy our lives, our children, our bloodline, our spouses. You can't just come stumbling on one of us, a Trojan one, pull us into your fucking energy too, because that's when you become that abomination. Then you gotta hide that you're an abomination. And how long do you think you could do that? Like I said in the previous recording, party done for them. Now there's a new party. The Ark of the Covenant is throwing it. It's a new age of Aquarius and a new vibration that the earth has never felt before. Training wheels off. And the training wheels is the mind. You don't got time for the mind. You don't got time for that. The mind is how you are plugged into the matrix. It's how you're susceptible to any of the 2 mark of the beast. To unplug from the matrix is you don't use that mind anymore. And it's easily said and done. If you are tapped in and guided by the spirit team, they will kindly escort that goddamn busybody, arrogant little shit out of there, out of your system, and just leave it where it's your higher self, your spirit, and your physical, your throne. spirit and flesh, matter and antimatter, without the mind interfering, because it's like a third wheel. The flesh has its own consciousness, the spirit is consciousness, and they work in tandem. They work very well together. Just like you have age Aquarius hyphen Capricorn, a whole different physics. Immortality, air, spirit, physical. They can work very well together. When you look at the strength card in totality, this is the strength card. At a time of the Sphinx and those 3 pyramids at Giza, that was all prophecy. Right now, we are where the Leo and the Virgo, the Sphinx, meets, and something called Zabababe, the void. Our whole solar system is there. We're there now. The 3 pyramids, the Orion's belt, represents a continuum where immortality run ting. And to stay, let me move this because the reflection of the phone is here. But if you look closely here, when you flip the script and you see this as Cain and Abel, okay, there's many ways, many variants, but these are the karmics. The Cains and Cainettes cutting the fool. They'd rather stay in mortality, covet what is immortal, angry about what you receive out of immortality. So they tap into it and become abomination. You see this? This is a skull. Prototypical. You can pause, screenshot, pull up a skull profile on Google and put it right next to it. It's a skull. Here's the jawline, the chin, everything. This is mortality. Focused and obsessed on what's immortal and mortal in tandem. So in this age of Aquarius hyphen Capricorn, you will be supported. You have to take off the training wheels now. You have to be that Neo. What does that make me? The Oracle. Baking dry ass cookies and smoking cigarettes. In the manger, in NYCHA. No problem with NYCHA, y'all. No shade. My mom had to hide me in NYCHA for the first 5 years of my life in Queensbridge. My family was in the Bed-Stuy. And when my mom was taken out, and my father was MIA because he's dangerous, or was dangerous, he snapped, crackling, popping, and sizzling and crackling down in hell, I made sure to escort his ass there. That's who I am. A medium and then some. A mutant, an X-Men. We're getting into the Ark of the Covenant, y'all. And I will promise you, I will break down the codes, the peace codes or the war codes. I will talk about each position because those 20 days are so key. Because you need the code for this compass, this arc, to operate. And then we're going to flip the script. And I'm going to show you the Omega war system side to this. This is for everybody, from Field Ninja to Medusa or Massa, the second beast, the powers that be. We can all get into it. CIA, you might want to look into this. Oh, you already are. Let me not dish y'all, because y'all be on it. Everybody be on it. Everybody be on it, right? Everybody be on it. Let's take a look at this. It's such incompetence, though. I should only have speculated, right? I should have only been able to speculate that I was being watched and listened to. Why am I finding this chintzy, cheesy listening device in my home? One thing about me is I don't have to lie. Craig, you ain't got to lie. I don't got to lie. I don't got to order this and then put it on, for clicks and views. This is for communication purposes. That I can have something like that, find something like that, and still be cool as a fan, get in hand, but I don't got to bust nothing. And y'all know that. Does it look like I have to bust anything? Does it look at my face? I'm chilling. With the eye on the prize. What else can I do? I gotta protect my family. Taking my eye off the prize and shivering and quivering somewhere is not the high priest or high priestess mode operandum. It's not how we get down. And when you start to understand the truth, short ram. I will give y'all better images, y'all. This is the short ram. But in it is a symbol called Atul. Even though it's at the 12 o'clock position, the Atul demonstrates 13, the energy of 13, death and resurrection. Atul, ATL, as a symbol of ancient lands in cataclysm when the earth had to reboot, when the matrix had to reboot. Age of Aquarius - Capricorn. The gates of hell is wide open. If you on that bullshit, you're getting the fuck on. Age of Aquarius, the water barrier. Age of Pisces, all that Piscean, all that shit you was able to hide in the Piscean age. The waters recede, we see everything, y'all. And that Capricorn is quiet. You didn't expect that it was gonna be Age of Capricorn - Aquarius, or Aquarius - Capricorn. Air supported by earth, because when that water recedes, that's all you're going to see is air and earth. Then you have the Phoenix saying, get the fuck out. Then you have us Trojan ones. Bye. Then you have this. I was like, what's that, y'all? What is that? And they said it's a tree. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm so intrigued. They said magic. And I said, what else? They said matrix. And I said, what are you talking about? They said, take a look at a computer board. And I took a look and I saw circuits. And at the end of the circuitry, you have this round apparatus. A sigil. Before there was all demonic sigils. They've been replaced by different sigils now. This is what I'm saying. New matrix, party done. New party begins. It's just the way it happens. It's just the way it goes. And that's not an easy feat. But the moment 2012 hit, and we were no longer in either primitive 31.4 vibration or 22 advanced vibration, 22.4. Each of these cycles I'm talking about are 3,600 years long. As far back as I can count, and I went back very far. I was so intrigued and obsessed with going back in time to see, have we ever had a different energy on Earth? And I could not find it, and I got tired. I went back before motherfucking dinosaurs and shit. It was always some type of 4, mostly a 31.4, primitive. But the 22.4s, we had 10,388 BC. That's the end of Atlantis and Lemuria, for sure. You have just the mountaintops, the islands, like in the Caribbean, Bimini Road, Bahamas and things. But the annexes of these lands of Atul that went down, the truth is now bringing them back up, resurrecting, right? And the truth was found in these annexes. A lot of governments, especially like in Tibet, there was annexes there under the Sphinx to complement what the Mayans were saying across the water, that at 2012 it was on like popcorn. We're in a 5 vibration with Aquarius - Capricorn energy. Thank God for the Capricorn energy. But that means we still got that goat energy. We still got that goat energy. We got to be careful with that. Capricorn energy is there to support. It's not there for us to get out of hand and get out of control. It's there for balance. It's there for discipline, for structure, for purpose. I'm going to wrap this up because today is a very busy day. But we will get into I know there's more to this. There's always more. There's always more to the story. Like, I didn't realize that this was a skull until yesterday. I said, oh, I can't wait to go run and tell y'all. A skull. Our enemies are dying and are already dead. They did this to themselves. The mass grave that they dug down is for them. They worked real hard in that grave. They deserve it. They worked really hard. And as for this Ark of the Covenant, man, I gotta go into the vault. I got archives of this. I gave a message about the storm via Biggie, but I got volumes of what's going on through Big, through Prodigy, through Pac. They be coming through. For the most part, it's Big, though. For the most part, it's Biggie. If it wasn't for him, I'd be dead by now. My family, I wouldn't even have my family. Ain't that some shit? Because he refused to go into the light, and I'm so grateful he refused. Instead, he went into Zion. And it's been on ever since. Helicopters over my home. I'm like, oh shit, is that for me? They said, who else the fuck is it for? It's 2 a.m. And you sending people up to the light. And or Zion. And it can show up on radar, obviously. There's a lot more to the physics of Earth and a lot more to come because there's changes now. And you over here just spinning that star tetrahedron around your body, yo, it be spinning that star David, it be spinning and stuff. Okay? Because that's what it is. I can't help it. It's what happens when you get fucked up. When you catching bullets with your teeth instead of stopping them. Took me a minute, but at least I was able to catch bullets with my teeth, y'all. At least I was able to catch those bullets with my teeth. But now, what bullets? You know? I roll with the best of the bestesses. I roll with Miss Harriet. What a bulletproof vest this is. She don't need none. Harriet Tubman did not have no bulletproof vest back then, and she don't have it now. But she damn sure at that table. She damn sure at that Ark of the Covenant. Like Judge Dredd. Can you imagine? That Ark of the Covenant, intergalactic, interdimensional, pantheons, everybody's at this table. Pele, Oya, everybody. Oshun, everybody's seated at that table. And you can't go and petition them to come for somebody like me because I'm kin. They'll fuck you up. Kali, she'll tear your ass apart. You come from me and anybody else in this energy, anybody of this Ark of the Covenant, as Prodigy says, the prime directive is an eye for an eye, your beef is mine. Stay tuned for all the additional breakdowns of this. In the meantime, you can Google and look this up, and you'll find that there's 4 sectors. 4 sectors. But I'm going to translate and bring it to modern day, bring it to Book of Revelations wide open and popping. Okay, with the 4 apocalyptic horsemen departments. Who's the horsemen and women? How does Christopher Reeves play in this? Yeah, we'd have to set it off with Mr. Christopher Reeves. How does Lisa Left Eye Lopez play in this? What happens to you when you say slick shit about Lisa Left Eye Lopez? What happens about you saying anything slick about anybody in the Ark of the Covenant? What about Aaliyah, right? And how she crashed. You know, that don't sit well with the Ark of the Covenant. Let me calm down. Hierophant and or High Priestess, Empress hyphen Goddess. Yeah, the physics is now where you can be that Empress hyphen Goddess. Before, you could only get up to Empress or Emperor mode. But the world was ran and ruled by distorted Emperor energy for a very long time. We'll get into that. I have the mathematics behind that. And if you want the math on how it was always a 22-4. Screenshot. Let me get into this at another time, y'all, because the phone is popping right now. I'm getting phone calls. Until next segment, take care of yourselves. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the supporting energies. It is appreciated. Please share. Please subscribe. Let's get this message circulated. It's very important, and there's so much more data and receipts to back it up. Okay? All right. Thank you. Take care and be blessed. Or not. It's up to you.